So hello and welcome back all of my star pupils. So this is definitely a little bit different than what we've been used to in the past, and I'm actually very, very glad. As you can see, I am filming a video from a computer that I actually did get for my birthday this year, so I'm very, very grateful for that. We also have in the back of me a brand new backdrop that you guys can see to kind of really showcase this video a little bit. I did decide to purchase a new backdrop because I felt like you guys were probably sick of seeing the same old thing in my videos or my pictures in the background. I don't know, maybe some of you guys actually like that or not. Please don't comment down below on that, as I kind of can understand that some of you might have been into that and some of you maybe haven't. I also decided to do backdrops because it's a little bit more engaging than just basically you guys looking at a blue wall or anything like that. So I'm very excited about the new tools that I do have for my videos at this time. So this video that we're doing today has been something that I've really been looking forward to doing since we did the Divination Part 1 101 video, and I actually posted that last week. If you guys have not viewed that video, I will link it down below in the description so that you guys can take a look at that one first. If you do have a lot of questions about divination, what is it? How do we kind of use that in practice for psychic mediumship, for if you're looking for answers, card readings, things like that. So in this video, you guys, what we're going to talk about is Divination 101 Part 2. So I'm actually going to be showing you guys some tools that you can use to start divination if you're looking into trying to find answers about certain questions, if you're trying to develop your psychic mediumship, anything like that. You can use some of these tools to actually help you with gaining some type of clarity or gaining some type of answers. So I wanted to actually show a few items, show a few things that I've actually picked up. None of these items have been sponsored on this video, you guys. So just to be clear on that, these are things that I have purchased myself through my journeys with divination, through my journeys with card readings, things like that, that really have helped me to kind of pinpoint what divination tool is best for me, which brings me to my first point. Not every divination tool is going to be perfect, set in stone for you guys. Divination tools can change at any time or any point. You can move through different cycles of wanting to just do tarot cards, then moving to oracle cards, wanting to just look at pendulums or orbs or crystals or anything that kind of enhances your psychic ability or enhances your ability to kind of connect with spirit or connect with your guides or connect with angels or anything of that nature. So it can change. You don't have to use the same divination tool the whole entire time if you're looking to gain answers. I will say that I did pick up this book many years ago. This actually belonged to my mom, and then she gave it to me. This is called Divining the Future. It's by Sally Morningstar. This is a great book, you guys. I don't even know if it's still in print. If you're looking to get ideas about divination, or if you're looking to kind of find what tools would be the best for you to use, this is very informative on each of the sections of divination or what divination tools there are. So I would strongly suggest this if you are a beginner and you're not sure exactly what to use. I literally feel like we're at story time, you guys, like hello. So you can kind of see that it's got a lot about palmistry in here. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about Chinese astrology, um, dream interpretations, tarot cards. So this book really does have a lot of information. And I can't even say how much I think if you're looking to start with something for divination, you guys should definitely purchase this book or try to purchase a book about divination tools, and it will help you guys out so much. So I definitely do love this. That would be my first thing to tell you guys if you guys are looking for something like that. Now, we're going to kind of go step by step of what are divination tools? What are the tools that you can use that are out there? What is divination? So we're going to start with the two most primarily used divination tools that are out there right now that a lot of psychics, witches, practitioners, psychic healers, Reiki, all these people will use certain things in their practices. Now, astrology is one of them. If you guys remember when I first started this channel, I talked a lot about Astrology 101, the sun signs, the moon signs. I talked a lot about ascendants. I talked a lot about astrological birth charts. That is a key, you guys, in starting the divination process, because if you can't know enough about yourself, you really won't be able to know about others to divinate. So if you're into astrology, if you're into astrology charts, natal charts, birth charts, love charts, compatibility charts, that is a very, very good place to start, because that in and of itself is a divination tool. And as always, you can refer to my channel. I have a lot of the astrology 101 videos on there, so you guys can look at that. So that is really a pinnacle in divination, is astrology. We also have my absolute favorite, which you guys always know because I am a card reader at heart. I can't even tell you guys, like, if there were no tarot cards, I would literally not know what I was doing with myself. But we have tarot. Now, here's the interesting part about tarot, because there's been a lot of different tarot decks. I told you guys about the Rider-Waite tarot deck. So I'm just going to show these up here. These are just the cards, you guys, that I use in some of my pick a card readings. So the Rider-Waite tarot deck, as you can see down here, we have the Two of Pentacles and the Queen of Cups. The Queen of Cups is detailed down here. The Two of Pentacles, you just kind of have to memorize them to know what they kind of are. Tarot and Rider-Waite, this is the original tarot deck of what the tarot was years and years and years ago. So this is a very ancient divination tool to practice with. Astrology, very ancient, you guys. We're not talking about somebody just made this up 2 days ago. This has been going on literally for centuries. People have been using these divination tools for a very, very long time. That is why these divination tools have stood the test of time, because of the fact of how accurate they truly, truly are. Like, I feel like if you go to a reader, if you go to a psychic, if you go to someone, the tarot never lies and the astrology never lies, because it's basically your birth chart and where you are karmically. I feel like if you get convoluted answers, or if you're not sure, or if something happens, Spirit has a way of sending you messages through the tarot. So I would strongly suggest, again, if you guys do not have a tarot deck to practice with for divination, you should start with at least the Rider-Waite tarot deck, because it is so effective if you're going to use that to answer questions that you have about life, such as money, career, romance, soulmates, twin flames, anything like that that you have questions about. You can use this to use for divination. Now, the other disclaimer that I want to put out there, okay, so that we understand what divination is and what divination isn't. Divination is not getting the winning lottery numbers, you guys. Divination is not a substitute for common sense, for professional advice such as medical advice, health advice, mental advice, emotional advice. These are just tools for you to get simple answers to connect with Spirit in the universe. If you are dealing with a lot of hardships in your life, if you are dealing with things that need medical attention, emotional attention, physical attention, do not use divination as a substitute for common sense. And I just want to let everyone know that, because this is a spiritual practice. It's not the end all be all of trying to find answers, of trying to find knowledge. There is a lot of responsibility with using divination in the correct way. So just so you guys are aware of that, if you're looking to talk to a psychic, if you're looking to talk to a Reiki healer, if you're looking to talk to someone, they will, if they're good, you guys, they will usually tell you that if you are having physical ailments, if you are really kind of torn on, an emotional part of your life that you just can't seem to kind of get through, they should be telling you that you should be seeking emotional support, doctors, psychiatrists, physicians, that people who have more knowledge in an actual basis. I mean, listen, you guys, I know that the power of prayer, the power of spirituality, and the power of divination is very, very great. I'm not downplaying that, okay? But what I am saying is to kind of be more aware of what you're putting out into the universe and what you're getting back, okay? If you're putting out into the universe that you literally want to cure yourself, I'm not saying that that's not possible. And I don't want people to say to themselves, this is not possible, because it is about your will to move on and things like that. But if you need to seek medical attention, or if you need to seek other attention from more spiritual leaders, you still can do that. You don't have to feel like when you use divination that you're going it alone, is basically what I'm meaning. So we got the tarot cards. We have this situation with the tarot cards and with astrology. So I did want to talk about that. Now, I also wanted to talk a little bit about um, different tarot decks. And why I'm saying this is because tarot has become such a commodity lately, you guys. I feel like everywhere you turn around, there's always a different tarot deck. There's always a different person using tarot. There's always, it's just very accessible. You have to understand that in my witches 101 video that I did last Halloween. I mean, this is very apparent now. Divination. Back in the day, that was not the case. I mean, you had to literally go to some covered wagon with a gypsy in it. You guys know the whole story with the gypsy, with the crystal ball thing happening. Or basically, it was that you were being persecuted for being a witch. I mean, this was not like people were in the 1800s, or back then in the 1500s, broadcasting that, hey, I got a channel and now I'm doing some tarot. That was not what was happening, you guys. It was very much a very sacred thing for people. And the thing is, a lot of people were persecuted for being able to have sight or healing or other things like that. So we have to kind of understand that the tarot has changed much of the time period. A lot of artists are doing different tarot decks. A lot of practitioners and witches are doing different tarot uses. Same thing with astrology. Astrology has become much more accessible than it was years and years ago. Now we have the internet. We have things where we can look things up, like birth charts, natal charts. Natal and birth charts are the same thing. Romance charts, compatibility charts, whereas before you had to go and look in books. So just to kind of state that too. Now, this is from the Illuminated Tarot. Now, you will be getting different tarot decks, you guys, if you guys are, Barnes and Noble's enthusiasts, and you go in there to look for stuff. Anything on Amazon, anything online, you will be finding different tarot decks. And this is the Illuminated Tarot. This is not the Rider-Waite Tarot. The Rider-Waite Tarot is the most ancient of tarot, and it is the original. This is something that someone else did create, and you will literally see that the cards will often look different too. So we have the High Priestess here, we have, the Wheel here. So different tarot decks will look different, like the Three of Pentacles, or you have the Hierophant. So these are different, these are more advanced cards that you will see, and you often will see these with, like, they're like court cards, because back in the day for divination, the tarot was used as playing cards also, you guys, for entertainment. So I don't know if you guys came across that or not, but the tarot is very, very going to be different if you're looking for stuff like this, like the Three of Cups or anything like that. So just kind of keep that in mind. I am a firm believer, you guys, with both astrology and tarot as divination, that tarot cards call to you. It's not a situation where you're literally going shopping and being like, okay, I'm going to pick this and this one. That can happen, but I feel like the tarot cards pick you, in other words, or they just literally speak to you in some type of specific way. So just kind of keep on a lookout for that if you're really looking for specific decks or if you're looking to find something specific, okay? So just kind of keep that in mind. So moving on, what are some other divination tools that have been used in the centuries past, and how does this all work and things like that? So we also have, okay, these aren't chicken bones or any type of bones from any animals, because people are like, when you bring out this pouch, I get nervous. I'm like, there's nothing, I promise you, that could be used for divination and maybe has been for some Haitian or voodoo practices, but this is not that, okay? So don't get worried. We literally have, this is a bag of runes, okay? Now, a lot of people ask me about runes, ask me about how the heck are you using these to divinate with, because nobody even understands the symbols, okay? So there are a couple of different things with runes, and I'm just going to show you guys a couple. I think you can get it with the camera. See, like, so they have different images on there that you guys can clearly see. Now, each one of these images, okay, what happens with runes other than divination is that runes are used for symbols to mean something specific about a person's life or path in life. So what will happen is if you're using runes, you're always going to put them in some type of velvet bag, either black or purple, because black symbolizes protection against negative energy that can affect the runes. Purple is a highly, highly spiritual color. That also denotes protection for the runes if you have never seen them in a pouch. They can also be covered in a cloth that is close to the person who is either reading or using them. So runes, this is a very ancient Celtic way of divination. It's a way to kind of what they call rolling the bones, if you've heard of that term before. It's a way to use runes to, like, you shake them, literally shake them, then you're going to pour them out onto a table, and what's going to happen is that some of the runes, you guys, will turn upward and some of them won't. So if you do see that, if some of them do turn upwards with the runes, you can easily read them. Okay, and then each symbol means something different, and you're able to determine or divine intervention will come in where you can literally determine a person's path life just by the runes themselves. There's also what we call oracle runes or witch runes, which will have different pagan symbols on them. Those were used centuries ago to denote certain moon phases, to denote practice, to denote what was going on in a coven, what kind of spells would need to be practiced at any different type of time. The witch runes are definitely different than the Celtic or pagan runes. So just so you guys understand that. Now, we've all heard it. We've all seen it. We all have seen this in movies. Okay, you got the woman who's cloaked over the crystal ball. This is a little mini one, you guys. Like, you guys are like, this is a joke. Okay, where's the bigger one? So this is a actual adventure, not adventuring, a faux emerald crystal ball. So this is not real at any point, you guys, okay? So what this is a colored crystal ball, or what they would call a witch ball or gazing ball. This is a smaller one. So different colors mean different things. Green means health and happiness, whereas like red means passion, lust, fire, things like that. So you can easily, and there have been practitioners who can do this. This is ancient, okay, as old as time. You're literally looking in the crystal ball, and some practitioners can divinate images or spirits or see certain things, or, maybe possibly tell you certain pathways for your life. Now, what's interesting about this, and I will say this because the crystal ball has been used in seances, it's been used by charlatans for centuries, because people back in the day, like I was saying, were not as educated about this kind of stuff as they are now. Like, now you see this at a fair, you're thinking, okay, this is a person who literally is just dressing up as if they're not seeing anything physically in this, it's all for show. But back in the day, that was very common. It was very common for psychics, for mystics to literally look into gazing balls, or we would call them gazing wells of water. Water is a conduit, so it's a conduit for spirit energy. You would have witches, practitioners, mystics looking into a pool of water, and they were able to see images from spirit or see a person's future. This was used in a lot of seances to connect the spirit. It was said that the spirit would get trapped in a crystal ball or in a crystal pool of water because of that conduit energy. We have also the bigger crystal balls that have the droplets in them, or droplets of water that can be used as conduit energy. So there's also those type of crystal balls that have been used for divinational purposes. So we can keep that in mind as well. I don't know, you guys, of many people who use crystal balls anymore for divination or use them. They are more of like crystal spheres are used a lot now for bringing in that positive energy or bringing in energy. So like a stone, a crystal stone would be more common now to use than just a crystal ball, because we also have to think about the time frame. Not a lot of people were walking around with crystals, anything. People were not as affluent, or they weren't as wealthy as we are today. Crystal was a product that was very hard to get, and if it was passed down, in a mystical way, like I'll even show you this. I mean, come on, you guys, like how many, this is such a cute little sign. But how many times have we seen this? Okay, like when you think of psychic or mystic or witch, you automatically think of a crystal ball because it's been used so much in the centuries, because crystal was so hard to purchase or get back in the day. That is why witches and practitioners would hold on to that. It was a very sacred imagery. It was a very sacred thing to them that they were able to connect to spirits with those messages. Okay. So we also talk about now the newfangled crystal dice orbs, which are very, very popular now for divination, you guys. This is like the 8 ball of your childhood dreams, except for the fact that you literally have to shake it a lot more so than the magic 8 ball. Okay, whoever probably came up with the magic 8 ball, you guys, probably was a witch. I'm just saying. Or probably was a mystic or psychic or something, because clearly that was a form of divination even back in the day. This is a um, crystal orb, mystical crystal orb. I'm sorry. So this actually has yes or no's. It has sayings on it. I've used this in my video many, many different times. These are much more apparent now than they maybe even were back then. You guys can always purchase one of these if you're looking to kind of enhance your readings, or if you're looking to kind of get messages from spirit on the fly and be like, spirit, this is my telephone, like this is my cell phone, you know what I mean? Like you could even hold it up to your ear. I doubt that spirit might tell you something, I don't know, but you could be like, listen, spirit, let's have a phone call now and let's talk about this. So this can also be used for divination. I don't have a pendulum, you guys, but I can show in one of my upcoming videos what a pendulum actually is. A pendulum's the actual divination tool that swings over and is magnetized with, we like to call it the electromagnetic fields that are around us. So you will use the pendulum to either scry, what we call it, or literally the pendulum will drop on a certain answer, a certain part of a map, a certain yes no situation. Now pendulums are actually also have been used since the dawn of time. They're very, very simple to use. You can use a chakra pendulum, you can use a crystal pendulum, you can use a type of metal pendulum, because that electric magnetic field that surrounds us constantly is spirit. So if you ask spirit, can you actually kind of tell me this, it'll drop, it'll do that too. we talk about dowsing rods. Now, dowsing rods are also one of those things that use the electromagnetic fields. Dowsing rods were used to actually find water back in the day. Well, come to find out, they were actually a one-way ticket to the spirit and a one-way telephone call. So literally dowsing rods, and maybe you guys have seen them, they go in, they go out, depending on what kind of questions you ask or things of that nature. Those are also a divination tool. Now, recently, this has come out as also a divination tool that has been added to a lot of pick a card readings or card readings. Some practitioners will use what we like to call Astro Dice. Now, what Astro Dice are is that they have every single sun sign or astrological sign on one dice, they have every single planet insignia on another dice, which I've talked about the planets and everything like that. If you guys need to refer to what planet matches which insignia, definitely we can talk about that. It also has the nodes on there, and then it has every number of the houses. There are 12 houses in total. Astro dice are great because if you're looking to ask for a specific sign, specific person, specific, can't talk today, specific house that you guys are looking for something to happen in, or looking for a planet placement of when something will occur, Astro dice are great to use for that too, as a form of divination to add to your tarot card readings. Okay. Now, last thing I'm going to talk about, just to kind of say this, there are a lot of divination tools out there, you guys. I'm going to be honest. There are some practitioners who are so powerful that they don't need to have any divination tools. Okay. They literally just have a one-way ticket to spirit. They're literally dialing up the phone all the time and spirit's just calling them back. Okay. Those people are highly gifted. We call them psychic mediums. They literally are like, beep, beep, beep. Hello, spirit. I'm here. You're here. We're in the same room together. Let's have a chat. Okay. I'm not saying that divination is that way for every single person. You may need a little bit more help. You may be called to oracle cards, tarot cards. You may be called to pendulums. You may be called to dowsing rods to talk to or communicate with spirit. And in my 101 video, I did give a little verbiage on safety. Okay. So if you're looking to contact someone who's passed on, if you're looking to, contact someone that you've known who is a famous celebrity, okay, we have to think about common sense here a little bit. Who can you reach? Who can you not reach? Protect yourself, things like that. A lot of times divination is a tool that seeks you, is what I'm saying, you guys. It's not a tool that you go looking for. It's a tool that calls to you. So if you're like finding yourself like, man, I'm obsessed with snow globes, like I don't know what the deal is, you guys, I love me some snow globes, okay, for my collection or whatever, you might be more attached to crystal orbs or be able to talk to spirit with crystal orbs. Okay, all my snow globe people, you know who you are. You literally start collecting these things and you're like, now I have a whole house full of them and I don't understand why. It's because you're connected to the crystal orbs. I got people, I'm not going to say it's not myself, okay, who literally see every tarot card in the world, including the ones that have cats on them because I'm a Leo, and they're like, oh, let me just start collecting these bad boys. So that literally happens too, where a divination tool will call to you also. If you don't need to use divination tools and you connect with spirit and by prayer or by meditation, that's also a way of divination too, which is also highly effective. So that can work same way too. Divination tools are not a substitute, you guys, for prayer. I will say that and be very honest about that. They are not a substitution. If you need meditation, if you need prayer, if you need communication directly, to spirit, to God, to whatever you choose to believe in, okay, I talked about my unicorn group. If you guys are trying to communicate with unicorns, hey, who am I to say that that's not the case or it is the case or what have you? Anybody you're trying to talk to, prayer and meditation are really kind of those frontward lines that you can use to really, really communicate and get those answers without any of these fancy type of tools. So just kind of keep that in mind also too. Universe does want to help. Spirit does want to help us when we divinate. It's just what do you feel would be the best thing to do at that time? So definitely take a look into that if you do need prayer or meditation and feel like you do get those answers more simply or just by being out in nature. That's also a form of divination. Okay, now these are so interesting. And I saw these on a channel and I was like, oh, these are kind of different. So these are what we like to call Chinese fortune sticks. And what is so interesting about these is that I looked it up, same thing with like Chinese astrology. That's another form of divination. I know that the Chinese in centuries past used a lot of coins, what I call them the karma coins that I've talked about before, or they used um, dice or incense or different things to commune with spirit, with ancestors. So I found that very interesting when I was looking this up as a form of divination. I've never used these on my channel, but I hope that I can use them in the future. So what's interesting about these Chinese fortune sticks is basically what you would do is you would kind of get your fortune from what I'm understanding at the Chinese New Year, or if someone came to you with an ailment or something, you can use these Chinese fortune sticks to kind of denote what is the fortune for the day. So when you pull one of these out, what's interesting, and you guys can see that it usually has the Chinese version of the answer down below, if you can read that, or it has the number. So in this case, we have the number 45 that I pulled. What is so interesting is that it comes with a small booklet that's in here, and that number coincides with something that is happening for the day or something that is happening in your future. So these are pretty awesome to use. I do love these because they're quick. They're an instant message if you need an instant message. So these Chinese fortune sticks can also be used for divination. So, you guys, we are currently at the end of the reading for Divination 101. As always, please like and subscribe. Comment down below if you do want me to go further with this video and you need some clarification on some things or want to know more about one of the divination tools. Please also comment down below in the video so that I can kind of see that a little bit, so that I kind of have some idea of what divination tools you guys would like to see in the future. If you guys want me to use more divination tools on my channel, I definitely can do that also. So please comment down below if you want to see those on the pick a card readings or anything else. I wanted to do this video primarily, you guys, because of the fact that so many people were asking me, well, what type of tools can I use? I'm not a psychic medium. I am a witch or I'm not a witch, and I need to know like what would be beneficial for me to use to start as a beginning. So any of those that I mentioned are great to use. If you guys are looking for me to do a seance, I don't know if I'm very comfortable with doing a seance and calling upon all kinds of spirits and all people in the house. I have enough people in my own house that I deal with on a daily basis. But if you guys are interested to know about seances or anything or the history of that too, that can be a 101 video. This week I am going to be doing another pick a card reading. I don't know what the spirit is calling me to do at this time, but I will be doing that. I'm going to be giving some messages right now, a little bit from a oracle card deck that I got, because you guys know I'm a themed type person. This is the Divination of the Ancients. This is an oracle card deck. When I saw this, I was called to do this divination video also because I'm a little extra, as you guys probably all know. So let me pull 3 cards for divination that we're really going to focus on this week. And kind of focus on what that can actually be too. I might touch upon superstition in another video. What's the difference between divination and superstitions, things like that, and we can talk about that also. So let me just kind of pull 3 cards here. Okay. So we have first card out. Well, we didn't exactly talk about this, but this can be in one of my superstition videos. Okay, you guys were like, I want you to do a seance. Listen, we don't know what we're doing. So this is the Ouija board, which I will touch upon this in another video that I was thinking of doing for Superstitions 101. And this is caution. Okay, I'm not surprised. If I had $1, you guys, for every time somebody said to me, well, I used a Ouija board and it didn't work out correctly, or and I got some spirits up in my house I didn't want, and it goes on and on. Ouija boards have been used since the dawn of time, pretty much, with seances, connecting to spirits, and everything like that. There is a huge responsibility in using Ouija boards, and it's something that if you are strongly connected to spirit, I would suggest to not use it, because with Ouija boards, you have a direct connection. It's like a door that you're opening, literally. That's like inviting every spirit and any spirit into your household, into your own person. So when it says caution, it means you have to kind of use caution as to whom you're speaking with or whom you're talking about stuff with. So that is something to look at this week. If you guys also want more information on that, you can also look it up too, but definitely using caution this week. Let's pick another one. Oh, so we have arrow. The golden arrow, which is an arrow of focus. Like arrows are often used in divination. My goodness, I can't talk today with the spirit. Are used in divination, such as when you spin a arrow or when you use an arrow pendulum. An arrow drops down because it's often used in a lot of practices for a straight thinking, a straight process, or any type of focus. So using focus and caution this week will definitely help you guys, but that is what the golden arrow kind of symbolizes. A lot of times it's used in Greek mythology, Roman mythology. You got the arrows, the bow and arrow, that type of thing. Yes, spirits. I knew it. So we have tarot, my absolute favorite. So you see that we have the cups, the swords, the pentacles, and the major arcana back there with the fool. So we have guidance. So tarot really, really does give us a lot of guidance and a lot of things that we're looking for. So definitely use some of that this week. If you guys are also feeling inclined, definitely use some tarot to start your divination practices. You guys, I hope that this video really did help you. As always, please like and subscribe to the video. Keep it light, keep it bright, and keep it starry, and I will talk to you all soon.